in operational budget has been allocated to realize this. We will ensure that bylaws are taken seriously and transgressors, including cable thieves and vandals, are prosecuted to the fullest intent of the law. Regular inspections will be conducted to crack down on illegal building and land use, and we aim to reclaim all public spaces. And Operation Buyo Mthethou's hands Operation Buyo Mthethou's hands will be strengthened to deal with the theft of assets. Johannesburg is rated amongst the most violent of cities in the world. Areas like Diepsloot, Kaya Sands, Midrand, Lanseria, Fourways, and Dainfern have become targets of crime. Streets like Calvin Street, Pretoria Road, Witkoppen, and First Avenue in Alex are infamous for hijackings. Our main priority is the safety of our residents, but we should also heed the negative effect crime has on business and investor appetite. We have allocated 6.1 billion rand in the operational budget towards public safety, making it the fourth largest allocation in this year's budget. Clearly showing that we take crime prevention seriously and that we are fiercely dedicated to having criminals brought to book. The city will be conducting 1,200 bylaw enforcement operations, 6,400 traffic enforcement operations, and 400 drug search and seizure operations. This government stands for the rule of law and will not compromise. On enforcing it. City officials and our residents can aid us in this pursuit. We ask that you be our eyes and ears, reporting crime when you see it. We ask that you do not offer bribes, and we ask our officials to not accept them. Since coming into government, we are doing everything possible to clean house. The JMPD Internal Affairs Directorate is stepping up its efforts to root out corruption within the Municipal Police Service. During the budgeting process, we invited departments to motivate additional fund allocations over and above that had already been assigned when the budget was tabled. This process resulted in an additional 17.5 million rand allocation to capacitate the law enforcement unit in development planning, and also an extra allocation of 50 million rand for the acquisition of fire engines. On the 6th of May, Marshalltown was hit by another devastating fire, affecting over 200 residents. Needless to say, the city is not adequately equipped to respond rapidly. I am therefore happy to say that the city has allocated 40 million rand to build a new fire station in Marshalltown. And we trust that should any such incident occur again in the future, emergency services will be able to instantly respond. A station does not mean much without the necessary equipment, and we therefore have budgeted another 10 million rand to acquire fire and rescue equipment. And again, it would be remiss of me if I did not plead with our residents to share the responsibility in helping to prevent fires. With winter fast approaching, I plead with our residents to be extra vigilant around the use of fires and heating appliances. For Mayoral Priority 3, a caring city, We are allocating 916 million rand in capex and 1.3 billion rand in operational expenditure. A society can be judged on how it cares for its most vulnerable, such as the LGBTQIA community, women, children, persons living with disabilities. This multi-party government will make sure that there will be improved healthcare, drug recovery process, support for the homeless, food security programs, and dignified old age homes. We are adopting a holistic approach to keeping communities in good health. Mr. Speaker, I do not believe that it is necessary for me to state the massive impact that COVID-19 has had on all of us. Unfortunately, this virus is not going away, and as is ever the case, prevention is better than cure. In a bid to protect our residents, 80% of all clinics in the city will be providing COVID vaccinations. We urge our residents to do the responsible thing and to get vaccinated. In 2016, under the leadership of our executive mayor, the then MMC for Health and Social Development, the city extended clinic hours to make healthcare services accessible, especially for those who are unable to visit a clinic during working hours. And we are excited to announce that we will be increasing clinics with extended hours to 47. Additionally, we will be building 10 new clinics over the next 3 years. Undoubtedly increasing accessibility and allowing our residents to get the care that they deserve. To further the quality of care in our clinics, we have allocated 21.5 million rand to implement the e-health system. This system will greatly enhance the level of service at our clinics in that patient records will be easily accessible and will reduce queues and waiting times. In total, the multi-party government has allocated 1.8 billion rand in operational budget for the health and social. This allocation will increase incrementally over the medium term. Sadly, in Johannesburg, education is no longer the great equalizer. Drug abuse is, affecting the young and the old, and the rich and the poor. Drugs have had a devastating effect on many communities, tearing families apart and exacerbating crime, and sometimes leading to unnecessary and tragic deaths. There is a great need for more facilities to deal with drug and substance abuse. Existing facilities must be improved to accommodate a more holistic approach to treatment, and to this end, we have budgeted an amount of 116 million rand in operational budget over the next 3 years to provide impetus to the goal of a drug-free society. This multi-party government is of the intention to invest heavily in the upliftment, health, recovery, and empowerment of all our residents. Apart from these salient undertakings, we cannot neglect investment in the financial health of our residents. On the 24th of February this year, Council approved the implementation of Phase 3 of the Debt Rehabilitation Programme. This program aims to rehabilitate defaulting customers while bringing them back into good standing with the city. In a further attempt to assist our residents, we expanded the qualifying criteria even further, and to date, we have written off approximately 500 million rand. And so to priority number 4, a business-friendly city. We have allocated 1.2 billion rand in capex and 3.9 billion rand in operational expenditure. The city of Johannesburg is well known to be the economic hub of South Africa, contributing over 16% of the national GDP. The government can no longer be seen as an employer. Instead, we must do everything possible to create an environment for positive economic growth. This will enable entrepreneurs and businesses to invest and create jobs that will grow Joburg into the city of golden opportunity. In the coming financial year, the government will support 14,500 SMMEs, with the expectation that if these businesses flourish, more jobs will be added to the economy. There are various factors contributing to the creation of a business-friendly city: quicker turnaround times for development applications, a safe and reliable transport system, investment in opportunity centres, apprenticeship programs, fair access to EPWP opportunities, the promotion of tourism, the revitalization of central business districts, and an active participation in the green economy. To this end, we have set the following targets for this financial year: to facilitate the investment and business into the city to the value of 35 billion rand. In order for Johannesburg's economy to grow, it requires significant investment from both foreign direct investment and local investment. Additionally, to improve the ease of doing business in the city, specific interventions must be developed to facilitate and promote inward investment. In the case of Johannesburg and its current economic state, it may be relatively easy to facilitate investment, but retaining investment is a challenge. The necessity of retention places another emphasis on the city's capacity to supply reliable electricity and water, and also the need for aftercare services. Our second target, to create 17,504 EPWP work opportunities. EPWP opportunities can economically empower many disenfranchised residents while creating another layer of basic service delivery. The Youth Skills Development Program and the Job Seekers Database were allocated 3.4 million and 1.2 million rand in operational budget, respectively. As previously mentioned, the unemployment rate in the city is shocking, especially amongst the youth. Artisanal training, especially in the technical fields, is highly sought after and will in all probability result in a steady job. We have set a target of enrolling 200 participants in artisanal training. Measures will also be put in place to facilitate a proper exit strategy for the learners having completed that training. Our third intervention is the Inner City Revitalization Program. This program will comprise out of several components, such as the Inner City Partnership Fund, with a capital budget of 16 million rand in the 22-23 financial year, and in 78 million over the remainder of the medium term. Inner City Parks Development will receive a capital budget of 7 million rand, and the revamping of inner city informal trading stalls will receive a capital budget of 10 million rand. To successfully revitalize the inner city, the road infrastructure must be dramatically improved. To this end, we have allocated 110 million rand in capital budget for the upgrade of inner city roads. Tourism is a relatively untapped market in Johannesburg. Our goal is to welcome 1.5 million visitors to Johannesburg in the current financial year. And to this end, the city will invest 79 million rand in operational budget to the Johannesburg Tourism Company. To reach our target of transporting 65,000 passengers per day using the Rea Vaya and Metrobus, we cannot solely focus on transport assets. The usability of the paths that buses travel is just as important. Dedicated public transport lanes and the recabling of traffic signals will positively contribute to buses arriving not only safely, but also on time. Road transport will receive an operational budget of 4 billion rand and a capital budget of 509 million rand. In my opening remarks, I mentioned how we should not ever become accustomed to children being left at home in order for their parents to travel vast distances to look for or to go to work. The township economy must be revitalized and invigorated. To work close to where you live has many advantages: enjoyment of family life, savings on transport costs, and the opportunity to uplift your community. Township industrial parks that are safe will also attract investment, leading to more job opportunities. And so for township industrial park development, will receive 75% rebate on the first 2 years and 50% rebate for the first 2 years after the industry has become operational. And so on to mayoral priority number 5, an inclusive city. The capital budget allocated to an inclusive city is 193 million rand, and the operational budget is 2.3 billion rand. To be a truly inclusive city, we need to make every corner of Johannesburg a place where residents have all the amenities they need to live a quality life, with access to housing and job opportunities. To achieve this priority, we've allocated a budget of 194 million rand in capital. This priority envisions the following: an increase in the delivery of housing. We will hand out 3,000 title deeds, supporting the expansion of the site and service program by developing 1,876 stands. To achieve this, we have allocated operating expenditure to the value of 1.7 billion rand over the next 3 years. An additional initiative is to give access to housing vouchers for qualifying residents who choose to self-build and benefit their local economy. For the upgrading of informal settlements with basic services, emergency access, and tenure security, we have budgeted an amount of 1.7 billion rand over the medium term. In the coming fiscal year, we will provide 2,252 houses in informal settlements with basic sanitation services. We have also budgeted 600 million rand in capital expenditure for the electrification of various informal settlements across the city over the medium term. We will build 2,500 low-rent and rent-to-buy units in mixed-income developments and 895 social housing units. We have budgeted 35.1 million rand for free Wi-Fi infrastructure in libraries that will connect residents to income-generating opportunities and learning. Everyone has the constitutional right to access to adequate housing. Government is obliged to put reasonable legislative and other measures within its available resources to achieve progressive realization of this right. In response to this, the multi-party government has prioritized 1.9 billion rand in operation expenditure to the Housing Department. This allocation will see to the realization of the following projects. 10 informal settlements provided with permanent infrastructure through the upgrade of informal settlement program. This program will run in Kanana Extension 2, Purki Extension 1, Bottom Compound, Lily's Bioscope, Heaven Valley, Diepsloot West Extension 5, Zandspruit Extension 85, Portion 9 of the farm Roodepoort, and Portion 27 of the farm Vlaksfontein. The refurbishment of Daniel Flats Westbury, Davidsonville row houses, Chiawelo Flats, Alexandra Township, the Alex Flats, Kengong Court, and Bella Vista. The refurbishment of old age homes in Ivana, Reuven, Northern Place, and Market Street. Community development plays a large role in uniting communities and contributes to a quality life. We have allocated 1.4 billion rand in operational expenditure to the Community Development Department. Some of the programs to look forward to are 12 culture programs to be implemented, including the 2022 Joburg Arts Alive program, the Africa Month program, and the Youth Month programs and exhibitions. And we also have 12 healthy lifestyle programs that will be implemented. Examples include regional street aerobics through the Sia Zivoka Voka program, the Learn to Swim, and the Senior Citizens Exercise programs. Kiddies games, a holiday program, park runs, water aerobics, and recreational walks. And that brings us to the mayoral priority number 6, which is a well-run city. And to a well-run city, we have allocated 170 million rand in capex and 25.8 billion rand in operational expenditure. The intention of this mayoral priority is to make Johannesburg the center of clean, honest government. Practically, this means we are putting our residents first. We're spending money wisely, and we're improving customer service and providing methods to supply services that meet individual needs and circumstances. And we consider all of the above as priority areas. A city's financial sustainability goes hand in hand with being a well-run city. It is a two-way street. We cannot be financially stable without good governance, and good governance is reliant on financial sustainability. In order to strengthen our city's financial position, we must succeed in the following areas. Customers' billing queries must be resolved within a reasonable time. Debt resolution must be fair and reasonable. Customers must have 24-hour access to the city, either via a call center and/or an interactive website. Developing an online portal to, among other solutions, report any issues or live track resolutions and license renewal. A customer-centric service delivery value chain, utilizing qualified, well-trained, and customer-oriented city officials to be found in a one-stop customer help center. We own the fact that our service standards are not where they need to be. As I stand here today, I want to assure our residents that this is changing. The quality of city services and good governance will not improve overnight. But progressive change has to start somewhere, and the time is now. Other administrations have expressed an intention for zero tolerance to corruption and maladministration. However, this government is taking real action through implementing effective governance processes and actual consequence management. We recognize the need to minimize human intervention when it comes to supply chain management processes, and therefore we have allocated funding. The amount of 20 million rand in operational expenditure has been allocated to acquire a supply chain management automation system and the state employees verification tool. And that brings us to mayoral priority number 7, a smart city, to which we have allocated 654 million rand in capex and 2.9 billion rand in operational expenditure. A truly successful city makes the most of the talent and innovation available, and we need to maximize our use of technology to empower residents and find solutions to our most pressing challenges. The concept of smart city has been on Johannesburg's agenda for quite some time. When evaluating our progress in this regard, it is apparent that we have a far road ahead of us to reach internationally accepted standards. Our smart city maxim is to embrace ICT innovation as a force for good. In keeping this, we have prioritized the following projects. We have allocated 21.5 million rand for the implementation of the e-health program. The automated fare collection system for Rea Vaya bus service has been allocated 250 million rand over the medium term. We have invested 15 million rand in the Integrated Intelligence Operating Centre to strengthen our law enforcement capabilities. New security equipment for fire detection and suppression at major substations will greatly assist in ensuring reliable power supply, and therefore we have allocated 20 million rand over the medium term. When I drive by city libraries or the JMPD head office, there is always a small crowd of people making use of the city's free Wi-Fi. In our current age, internet connectivity can safely be called a basic human right. The internet connects us to each other, gives our residents access to job opportunities, allows students to facilitate their study requirements, and allows us to engage with our residents wherever they are. To bring access closer to our communities, we will roll out a further 500 Wi-Fi hotspots. And so, coming to a close, I want to thank the Executive Mayor for her trust in me to be at the financial helm of the city. I equally want to thank the multi-party government for their ongoing support and sharing the responsibility of compiling this inclusive budget that seeks to deliver basic services to all our residents. I want to give a special thanks to my long-suffering and patient husband, Ian, who doesn't always agree with everything that I stand for, but he remains my #1 fan. Just like we need each other to make a success of this golden repair, I could not have tabled this budget today without the help and guidance from our budget office. Your wisdom and institutional knowledge are the cornerstones of this budget. In conclusion, I trust that you, our residents, agree that this budget addresses the most important concerns as discussed with us during the public participation process. We are keeping the lights on. We are keeping the water flowing. We are keeping the city clean. And we are keeping you all safe. Everyone from Orange Park to Ivory Park. Our commitment to you, our residents, is to deliver the projects in this budget to the best of our ability, to treat you with respect when you visit a walk-in centre or call us on the phone. We are building roads, we are maintaining bridges, we are building clinics, and we are refurbishing JRA depots in all the regions, to name but a few. Our goal is to improve your lived experience in our city of golden opportunities, and we want to empower you to once again have hope, to dream about a better future. This golden repair is the start of a new era, an inclusive, collaborative and cooperative approach to good governance, founded on our relationship with you. I thank you. And come back to that.
Thank you, MC. Councillors, just for procedure, we are going to continue this coming Friday, starting normally at 10 o'clock. But before I adjourn the meeting, just to ensure that the ushers please lead us as to who's going where. Executive Mayor and your team, including your visitors, if you can start leaving the chambers, and we will follow after that. So please, I'm asking let's be seated until the mayor has left. Thank you. Councillors, on Friday, we're going to start at 10 o'clock sharp. I hope that we're not going to have the same problems as today. MMC, the speech, is that going to be distributed? Is it in hard copy or is it sent out electronically? Both. Please, before you leave, they will distribute it here first. And councillors, lunch is also ready after you've received your speeches. Thank you. Thank you. Where can they collect the speech? Outside. Okay. It will be outside on the tables. Please collect